Hello guys, today we are going to discuss about other topic that is grief and the stages of grief. Grief is a natural process and it's not a disorder or disease. Grief is a natural thing. We all undergo grief. We all are undergoing. We have undergone. So how grief will experience and what are all the stages of grief and what kind of feelings we have during each stage, and that all things we are going to discuss in this video. So what is grief? Grief is a natural process. Grief is a natural process. So don't worry guys, grief is not a disease, grief is not a disorder. And if you get stuck in any stage of grief, that can lead to any kind of mental health problem. Grief is a natural problem, but it can hurt us both emotionally and physically. So that is a problem, guys. So that is a problem. Here we could see grief is a natural process, and we have to undergo the stages of grief. But that stages can hurt us both physically and emotionally. Because of this pain of feeling, we might find ourselves wondering if what we are feeling is normal or how long our grief will last. Sometimes the stages of grief will last for a long time, and that can kill us. That can emotionally kill us. That can physically disturb us, and that can create problem. But the stages of grief and grief is a natural process for all human beings. So before going to study the 5 stages of grief, we will study the history first. We will go through the history, and after that, we will go to the stages of grief. As I said, there are 5 stages for grief. And based on the theory, we all are undergoing or going through these stages of grief if we undergo any kind of pain, if we face any kind of pain, if we lose something which is very important for us. But ultimately, I would like to say that it is important to remember that grief is an entirely individual experience. Why? Because you are different, I am different. My feelings are different, your feelings are different. My characteristic features are different, your characteristic features are different. My personality, my sum total of my behavior is different, your sum total of behavior is different, right? So it can affect various factors from your gene, from your chromosomes, okay, till outside, till the end things like outside community, the layers, the surroundings, everything can affect. So it is an entirely individual experience. So grief is an entire individual experience, and the stages of grief will vary depend upon the person to person. So before going to see the detail stages, we will see the history first. In 1969, psychiatrist Elizabeth Kubler-Ross discovered this grief process and published in her book on death and dying after observing terminally ill patients and their emotional response to death. After observing about terminally ill patients and their emotional response to death, she identified that the patient may experience 5 stages of grief when facing their own death, although this theory was later adapted to reflect the grieving process. And over the time, the 5 stage model has moved into 7 stage, and even the 7 stage model has moved into 10 stage. But still, we all are focusing on that 5 stage. Everything is revolving around that Elizabeth Kubler's 5 stages. So we are going to see that 5 stages of grief now. So we will see the stages first. So 5 stages of grief. So what is the first stage? Denial. That is the first stage. Anger. That is the second stage. Bargaining. That is the third stage. Depression. Fourth stage. And acceptance is the fifth stage. So denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. These are all the 5 stages of grief. We will undergo these stages if you face any kind of loss, for example, like death of loved one, or facing a, or diagnosed with a severe illness. You will go through these stages before accepting the reality. First stage is denial, second is anger, third is bargaining, fourth is depression, and fifth one is acceptance. So first one is what? Denial. That means not accepting the reality. We can't accept the reality. So I'm taking the example like death of loved one, very close person. Okay. So after hearing that your loved one or your loved person has died, you may feel foggy and like freezing. and unable to process the reality of the situation. Suddenly, if you hear that someone came and telling that that person passed away due to so and so problem, the particular person who is informing that, no, they will tell that person, your wife, your husband, your family member, your friend. So after hearing that, you may feel foggy and unable to process the reality of the situation. So, so automatically a defense mechanism will develop in our mind and in our body to deal with the situation, and that is called denial. That stage is called denial. So like we can't accept, not accepting the reality. So that is the first stage of grief. But this is a temporary stage, and while this temporary period of denial, it can help to numb the intensity of pain. So when you're not accepting the reality, what will happen? You will be in a foggy, freezing stage, like numbness will be there, and that numbness will help to reduce the intensity of your pain, and it may also provide you with the time and space you need to think, to learn how to confront your emotions. So denial is the first stage of your grief, not accepting the reality. Not accepting the reality. That is the first stage of grief. After that, we will go to the second stage. From the denial stage, you will gradually, you'll go to the next stage of your grief. Okay. Imagine your own personal experience is, then only you can really feel it. Anger is a natural reaction to pain. It is a natural reaction to pain. So don't think that all angry is because of selfishness, and all angry is not because you don't like particular thing. Sometimes it's because of pain also. Anger will arise from pain also. So in grief process, anger is a natural thing and is a natural reaction to pain. Anger is a common and natural response to pain caused by loss. So why did you go from me? Why did you go away from me? Why did you leave me? Why you're going? Why you didn't tell me before going? I am alone. Why I'm here? Why me? Why is happening to me? Why it happened now? I'm alone. What about my future? Like keep on asking the questions and developing an anger. This is the second stage of defense mechanism to sustain, to make to reduce the intensity of the pain, and it may be directed towards the person who is died, or sometimes to ourselves, and sometimes to the people around to you or your surrounding, sometimes to the person who died, sometimes to ourselves. It's my problem, it's my bad luck, it's my fate, it's my destiny, it's I'm not good, that's it's happening. So you will feel angry towards yourself, you will start hating yourself. Or sometimes it will be around the people. It's because of you it happened, because of the hospital, it's because of friends, it because of the situation it happened. So start blame others, and often this reaction can cause a guilt also, and you might find yourself asking a lot of questions to yourself, or to we will start asking a lot of questions. Why me? Why it happened to me? Why always is happening to me? Why me? What about my future? And this can lead to feeling isolated or alone in your life. So you will be like this somewhere with that anger. And it is a natural reaction to pain. So first stage is denial, like not accepting the reality. From there, you will go to the second stage, that is anger. That is a natural reaction to pain. From anger, you will go to the third stage. Okay, that means bargaining. The anger, there's no use for anger like that. You'll realize, and you will start bargaining. Okay, you will start negotiating, and you will feel helplessness, and you will start blaming all. But it's not like actual blaming, that is a kind of hope. In that stage, you will try to develop a hope. Feeling helpless when grieving can sometimes result into trying to make deals with either yourself or higher powers such as God. So in bargaining stage only, basically we will try to show faith on God or in someone higher power, or sometime to ourselves we will try to make a deal. Okay, okay. So please give the particular person back. I will give my life. Please give this to them. I'm ready to give everything. Take from me, take me, and give that person back. So it may contain sacrifice, and you are willing to make in order to bring the person who has died back and make everything return to the normal you once knew. And this way of thinking may lead to you revisiting certain moments or situation in the past and wishing they had turned out differently. So that is the other stage of grief. So from denial stage, you are going to which stage? From the denial, you will go to anger stage. From anger, you will go to bargaining stage. From bargaining stage, you will go to the next stage, that is the fourth stage. Okay, so that is depression. So in the depression stage, you will understand there is no point of bargaining. The particular person will not come back. So it is a starting understanding of starting stage of reality. So understanding, slowly you are getting into slowly you are into the stage of reality. So it can create what lot of stress and a lot of weight on you, and that may create a depression, like intense sadness, because you are realizing that if I'm giving my life, a particular person will not come back. If I bargain, if I do anything, if I am ready to give myself also, there is no chance of coming back. So what you will feel, you will feel an intense sadness. And as the unavoidable reality of your situation becomes clear, and you may feel overwhelmed and unable to face the world around. So what will happen? So you understand that nothing gonna happen, nothing gonna change, the person will not come back. So you will feel like and you will feel like lonely, you will feel overwhelmed, and you will feel like unable to face the world around you. And this might comes in waves, or you might feel stuck in the emptiness. You get stuck there. Okay, what's next? And well, this is a natural response to bereavement, and coping with depression during grief can be lonely and isolating. So in bargaining and depression stage, you will be like almost in an isolation and lonely stage. So depression stage is a bit more complicated comparing to other stages, because in this stage you will feel an emptiness. You are in the starting stage of understanding the reality. Okay, from the depression stage, you will go to the next stage, that is acceptance. That is the last stage. Understanding reality, finding acceptances in this instance is instead about accepting your new reality, which means living a life with loss. Rather than try to change or deny what has happened, we will start to find out that we are able to come to terms with your loss. But it doesn't mean that you stop feeling sad or having bad days. It just means realization of what your new life looks like and feels like. You will not uh, you will not feel you will not or you it will you will not stop feeling sad, but you will what feel a realization, like it just means a realization what your new life look like and feel like acceptance. So these are all the 5 stages of grief. Okay, so you have to undergo through each stages to understand the reality. If you can't go through each stages, or if you stuck in any of the stages, that can hurt you physically and emotionally, and that can lead to lot of complications. So these are all the stages of grief. Hope you understand, guys. So hope you understand the stages. Anger, denial. So first is denial, anger. From there you will go to bargaining. From there you will go to depression. At last you will come to acceptances. And these are all the 5 stages. And I've told you there are a lot of changes happened in these 5 stages. It has moved to 5 to 7 stages and 7 to 12 stages. But still, we are focusing on these 5 stages, but there are some new ideas also about grief. We can see in 1999, Margaret and Henk developed the dual process model of grief. Okay, they suggested that grieving is a process of moving between two type of responses. Okay, first one is loss oriented response, and second one is restoration oriented response. Loss oriented response means working with the emotion or feeling when thinking about the person who has died. Restoration oriented response means which refers to the process getting on with the day-to-day life and managing the practical things that need to happen after some time. So if you look into these 2 stages, and if you analyze, you can understand all 5 stages are there in these two steps, right? Loss oriented response, like accepting, denial, okay, anger and bargaining, you can see in the first loss oriented response. And restoration oriented response, we can see acceptances and realities. That's what I said. These 5 stages are the basic for all other ideas of grief. So hope you understand, guys. So these are all the 5 stages of grief, and I would like to say that grief is a natural process. So grief is not a disorder. It's not a problem. You have to undergo grief. You have to undergo through the each stages of grief. Then only you can understand the reality. You can accept the reality. And if you get stuck in any one stage, that can create a lot of problems. So if you get stuck in that stage, you need treatment and therapies and support from counselors or psychiatrists or from any other doctors. Okay, so this is about grief, and hope you understand, guys. Thank you for listening, and we will come back with other video.